With the Super Bowl coming to Minnesota this year, I thought it'd be fun to show you how to make some glassware out of ice for you to use at your Super Bowl party. And now for some ice candle holders. You're going to need some water balloons, some food coloring, tea lights, and then a drill with a drill bit that's big enough to fit the tea lights. My daughter has volunteered to help fill up some of the water balloons. First, put several drops of food coloring in the balloon. Then begin to fill the water balloon up with water and finish it off by blowing some air into it. Now bag them up and set them outside for the night. With the orb candle holders that we're making out of balloons, we're going to cut the outside with a utility knife and then take a drill bit that's 1.5 inches wide to drill a hole right here for the candle to set. For the vases, cut the tops off, fill them up with distilled water, then set them outside until they're frozen solid. Well, today it's warmed up from -10 to -6 Fahrenheit, and these are definitely frozen. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take the 2¼ inch drill bit, and then every once in a while we're going to have to scrape the snow out of the inside. There we go. So that should be pretty deep. So this one tore off very nicely, but you can see that it's got a big chunk out of it right there. So the hot water method actually was better because when I was just trying to rip it off, I broke off 2 of these so it doesn't sit very flat anymore. So I'm going to run it on the counter until it's smooth. So now the vase is level. This one's a little wobbly too, so again, if you just run it along your counter, it'll eventually flatten out. And to clear up the ice, just run a little water over the top.
If you really want to impress your friends, let some flowers freeze outside and do this.
These instructions are for a multiple drink holder. You just need one very large balloon, and you're going to fill it as full as you can get it, and then top it off with a little bit of air. Now bring it outside and let it sit out there for several hours. You're not going to let it freeze all the way though. It said that it was -10 this morning. It's warmed up a little bit since then, but I'm a little worried that it was too cold last night for this, and that it probably froze all the way through. So I'm going to cut it open and see. It actually looks like we might be okay. There's still some water in that, so we're going to crack it open and see. You can see it's already got a crack across there, but we're going to use this set to try to crack it open. If you use too big of a whack, it's going to crack the whole thing, so you got to be very careful. I'm now going to try to make a little ring to crack it on. So you can see how the chunks break off if you set that line around first. Now we're going to dump the rest of the water out. You can see it's a really nice glass bowl now. Now I'm going to let a little bit of water that was on the outside freeze. For each of the items that you're going to set on your counter, you're going to want to get some of this grip liner and cut it out in the shape of the item that's going to be on your table so it's not sliding all around. For the flowers, I'm not going to add water because I don't want it to accidentally leak all over. So the vases were a little more shallow than I was hoping, so we're going to cut those down quite a bit. And I'm going to leave these in the bowl until we're almost ready. If you don't have stone countertops, you probably are going to want to put some paper towel under because it may stain your counter. As you can see, this is from the large balloon. You could use it as a punch bowl, but we're gonna put some snow in there and put bottled water inside of this. Anything with food we're gonna line with plastic wrap. And then cut around the edges. For the veggie dip and the salsa, we're just gonna leave them inside of the container but put them on ice. Last thing is to light the candles and bring in the glasses. I'm not quite sure how good of an idea this is because it's leaking water everywhere, obviously. So you're gonna have to keep wiping it up, but it's still pretty fun. So now it's time for our guests. You forgot your veggies. And as always, make sure to subscribe and watch more Minnesota Cold and how-to videos of ours. Oh, bird. That's cold.